So let's find a comfortable sitting position. If you need something to put under your sitting bones, do that so you're more comfortable. And then once you find that comfortable sitting position, you can close your eyes. And close your eyes and let's find the natural breath. So there's no technique when we're connecting to the natural breath. Just the body expanding and relaxing naturally. And then slowly bring the hands in front of the heart. And let's keep this intention all together that we're here to embrace diversity and embrace change. And then gently you can open your eyes and look directly at your hands. And recognize that gesture of Anjali Mudra, of bringing the hands in front of the heart together, as a gesture of reconciliation of all parts into a heart space, the place where there's no duality, where all gets integrated, light and dark. Night and day, sun and moon. And then from there, with your eyes, follow your hands and reach your arms all the way up. Reach the hands way up. And then exhale, relax, and open the arms out to the side. So we're going to start with a gentle warm-up. And so you're going to leave that left leg forward with the shin bone parallel to the front of your mat. And you're going to bring the right leg back. So when you look, you have this triangular shape with your legs. And the movement, think about how you do cat-cow, like how you do cat-cow with your spine. And where does the movement start and ends? So my indication is that you start with your tailbone and your sitting bones. And so when you inhale, the sitting bones go back, the tailbone goes back, your chest opens, you look slightly up with the open chest and the front of the neck extended. And then when you exhale, you tuck in the sitting bones and the tailbone, chin to the chest, and round. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. See how can you even exaggerate this movement a little bit. And exhale. So we always start with the warm-up of the spine. In here, also adding a warm-up to the hip joint. And always coordinate the movement with the breath. So you know that when you inhale, the sitting bones go back, chest goes forward, you look slightly up, and when you exhale, sitting bones go forward, chin to the chest. And just a couple more rounds. Next time you inhale, you come into neutral. and then we're going to switch the position of the legs. So the right one comes forward, the left one goes back. And again, we first set the neutral position. You can do all of this also with something under your sitting bones if you're not comfortable sitting like this. Hands on the knees, and then we continue. Sitting bones back, chest forward, chin slightly in, and exhale, sitting bones forward, chin to the chest. The belly and the also is active here, so when you exhale, you squeeze your belly in towards the spine, and when you inhale, you relax the belly. And although it looks like the posture is quite still or not much is happening, everything is happening. Your hip joints are getting a good stimulation, and your spinal vertebrae are all waking up as we stimulate the fluids both in the hip joint and in the spine. And so that's what the warm-up should be all about, right? To start bringing some fluidity to the joints, so then we can move a little bit more effectively. Just 2, 3 more rounds. The next time you inhale, come back again into vertical and bring the hands back. And now separate your feet wide, wider than your hips. And we're going to do this windshield wiper kind of movement. So you inhale to the side, look through the right shoulder, knees to the left, and then exhale back to the center. Inhale, knees to the right, look through the left. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So the sitting bones, they move a little bit here forward. So we need to keep the arms and the hands steady. So exhalation to the center. So means we also engage the core when we do that. A couple more rounds. And back to the center. So now you can come into all fours. And adjust your knees under your hips and your wrists and your shoulders in line. And now we do just the classical cat-cow, but you'll see that's the same movement with the spine. So inhaling, sitting bones back, chest forward. This time you look straight. And then exhale, tuck in the tailbone, belly to the spine, chin to the chest. So we're going to do this movement in different shapes. So just get familiar with what is the spine doing here. Last couple of rounds. So when we're doing warm-up, we warm up the spine, the joints, and in a way we're warming up for all the elements. And then when we start more in the sequences, you'll see the different types of sequence for each one of the elements. But the warm-up is more general. Last couple of rounds. Then inhale to neutral. Exhale, open the knees. And then sit all the way back towards the heels and extend your arms forward. Take a deep breath here. Expand the rib cage towards the inner thighs when you inhale. And when you exhale, relax everything down. Then you're going to keep the arms extended, elbows off the ground. Inhale, coming all the way up. Tucking the tailbone, straightening the legs. Open the chest, look forward, and then exhale, belly to the spine, sitting bones all the way back towards the heels. Inhale forward. Keep the arms straight the whole time. And exhale back, so moving up into the body with the warm-up. So let's open up the shoulders and the shoulder joints as well. At the same time, opening the lower back and warming up the lower back. And keep inhaling, moving forward. Roll the shoulders back, open the chest, and exhale back. So you can also go at your own pace when you're doing this. Obviously, I'm going to a little bit the pace of my own breath, but you're free to move in your own rhythm. In fact, that's why we practice, right? To see and connect what is our own rhythm. And so the breath is a good indicator. Next time you exhale, just come into neutral, all fours again. And let's warm up now a little bit the core as well. So in all fours, you're going to, with the inhalation, stretch the left leg and right arm, look forward, and then exhale to come back. Use your core. Inhale, left hand, right leg. Exhale. From side to side, let's go. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Next time you inhale, left leg, right arm, hold it there. And now bend the left knee and get a hold of your ankle from the inside. And then bring that left knee up. Look forward. And then inhale, release. Exhale down. Inhale, right leg. Left arm, extend, hold. Now bend the knee. And then lift that right knee all the way up. Then inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. And just take a moment here to deep cycles of breath. So inhaling and exhaling. Now tuck your toes in. Come a little bit all the way back into your heels. So you're sitting on your toes, interlock your fingers, extend the arms forward. And then inhale all the way up. Exhale, lower. Take the lock and just rotate your wrists. One direction and then the other direction. Then we do one last movement for the core. So wrists and shoulders in line. And then we stretch one leg back and the other leg back. So we're in the plank. And then we inhale, lower the knees without touching the ground. And then exhale, extend through the heels back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look, not much is happening with my upper body. It's all happening, the movement. The strength comes from the upper body, but the movement in the lower body. Last one. And then exhale all the way into downward dog. You can open your feet wide here, wider than the hips. And let's find your downward dog. Maybe bend your knees back and forward a little bit. And then come into a more straight downward dog with the feet parallel, hip distance apart. And then inhale, bring your right leg forward. And exhale your left leg forward. Sitting bones, they go back. We bend the knees here and we relax the spine all the way down. And then keeping the heels grounded, the big toes grounded, we're going to inhale and start to unroll the spine all the way up. Let the shoulders and the arms hang. And then when you inhale, you roll your shoulders back and you look forward. So this was the warm-up. We're going to now move into the sequence of each one of the elements. And we're going to start with the earth. And so in the earth, we're trying to cultivate solidity and grounding. So we're going to work through the legs. And in the legs is also where you have the channels, the meridians of the spleen and the stomach, which both belong to the earth element. So we're going to start just with a simple lunge. You can even bend your knees like if you would be going into chair pose, put the fingertips down, step the right leg all the way back. Just take a moment here to see that the knee and the ankle are in line with each other. Your big toe, which is where the spleen meridian also is, you're going to be pressing that down strongly. And then when you're ready, you come up and you keep your arms down here as we're trying to bring the energy down in the body. And so we take some breaths here, a little bit attention also with the pelvis, and you want to tuck the tailbone in so there's some length here at the lower back. And then we're just going to do 3 movements with this leg, with the right leg. So you keep the left knee where it is, and then you inhale and you bend the right knee towards the ground. And then exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Last one, inhale, bend. And exhale, extend, hold it there. Taking some deep breaths, grounding through that left big toe down. And then press the left heel also down and exhale, step the right leg forward. Take a moment there just to feel the effect of that pose. And then when you're ready, let's bend the knees again, bring the fingertips to the ground, and then step the left leg all the way back. Take a moment, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, everything presses down, just like roots of a tree, connected deeply to the earth, drawing the energy, the nutrition, right? From the ground into the body, into the legs, feeling the strength, the solidity. And then make sure that the pelvis is tucked in, there's length in your lower back. Then we're going to inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, extend. Just 3 times we're doing this. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Take a moment. Deep breaths. Good. And then press the right heel strongly down. And then exhale. Step forward. Come into this Tadasana pose. Close your eyes and let's feel the sensations there in the legs and in the lower body. And how are we standing on our ground? How our feet are planted on the ground, on the earth. And then slowly open your eyes. We're going to do chair pose now. Chair pose is a great earth pose. Just connects us with all these principles of solidity, grounding, stability, and activates all the channels in the legs for the 2 channels, the spleen and stomach. So we're going to, for chair pose, remember that the knees cannot pass the toes. So you inhale, you sit back like we did before, and then bring the arms up. Make sure that the tailbone is tucked in. There's length in the lower back, and you're looking forward. So not down, not up, just forward. And then if you want to align the arms, you want to bring the arms as close as possible to the ears. Just 3 more breaths here. And then press your heels down, inhale. And exhale, release. Let's close the eyes again. Natural breath now. Keep the legs solid, but let the upper body relax. So what is this obvious sensation that we can feel in the legs and in the feet? Stay connected to the experience that you are having inside the body. And then gently open the eyes. So now that we energize the legs, we're moving up towards the spine. So the spine sits on the pelvis sits on the legs. So the legs, let's think about it that we just irrigated the legs. And now we can start moving to the other parts of the body. And so for here, we're going to do a simple flow where we bring the hands in front of the heart. And it's a similar movement that we did in cat-cow, both the seated and the all four. So that's the motion of the spine. So you inhale, your sitting bones, they go back, you open the chest, lower your arms down, and then as you exhale, you tuck in the tailbone, belly to the spine, chin to the chest, and roll the spine all the way up, bringing the hands in front of the heart. And then inhale, sitting bones go back, open the chest, bow down. Exhale, tuck in the tailbone, belly to the spine, chin to the chest, hang the shoulders. Now it's the legs that are giving us the support so the spine can flow. Inhalation on the way down, exhalation on the way up. Move at your own rhythm. And now that you know the movement, do you think you could close your eyes and do the same thing, just from within? Knowing where your body is in space, knowing that you are completely held by the earth, so then you can flow like water, because you have that support there. How does that feel to practice like that? Just 2, 3 more rounds. And so when we're looking at the channels of the water, they are more in the back body, in the back of the legs and the spine. And the channels are the kidneys and the urinary bladder. So all to do with the organs that, in a way, manage the water in our bodies. And then next time you inhale and come up, hold it there, hands in front of the heart. Taking deep breaths. And then we take a breath in. And then exhale. We bow down the same way. This time the hands go towards the mat. And we step our right leg all the way back. And we drop the knee onto the floor. Now, you're going to first come up to vertical. And then extend that left leg forward, heel on the ground. If you can, you extend the foot forward. What's important is the heel here, that it's grounded and provides you some stability. So we inhale and we come forward, opening the chest. And then we exhale, extend that left leg forward and bow down. Inhale forward, open the chest, and exhale and bow down. Last one, inhale. And exhale, and let's stay here just for a couple of breaths. trying to bring the chest as close as possible to the left thigh. So this is starting to allow us to open here the urinary bladder channel that runs through the back of the legs and the hamstring. So it's a great hamstring stretch that also activates the urinary bladder channel. And then inhale, come into the center, bring the hands, lift the right knee off the floor, and then come into downward dog. Downward dog, you can come up into your tippy toes and work with that awareness of the sitting bones that we have been connecting from the beginning. Keep the sitting bones high up, lower the heels down. This is a great stretch for the whole urinary bladder channel. And then in here, you're going to inhale, step your right leg forward, left knee on the ground, come into vertical. So just this pose in the neutral, it's already like a balancing pose. So we need to activate also here the midline of the body in order to stay in the center. So then we can stretch the leg and place the heel, the right heel on the ground, and then inhale. Open the chest, exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And next time you exhale, you're going to stay in the pose, lowering slowly the chest towards the thigh, and feeling the hamstring, that right hamstring, feeling the sensations in there. For me, it's a part of my body that is quite tight, so all of these water poses, I can feel them very strongly. Good, and then inhale, we come forward again, we plant the foot, hands in the front of your mat, lift that left knee off the ground, and bring the right leg back. And then back into downward dog. Let's make the downward dog really wide for the pelvis here, so you can bring the feet as wide as your yoga mat, as well as the hands. So this is a little bit like how a pregnant lady would do downward dog. It's also good for us in general as women, if you're a woman practicing, obviously. And then from here, we inhale and step the right leg forward, and then the left leg forward. Bend the knees, belly stays connected with the thighs. We drop the head completely and the shoulders, and then we unroll ourselves all the way up. The legs providing the solidity for the rest of the body to flow. Open the chest, hands in front of the heart. Inhale, exhale, bow down. Bring the hands down. This time, step the right leg all the way back. You're going to look at your heels and see if they're in line with each other. And then from here, you're going to inhale and come up. Place your hands on the pelvis, and you want to make sure that your fingers are pointing forward when you do this. So that means the pelvis is square to the front of the mat, and then solid legs, yeah? So inner legs, outer legs, everything working. And then we inhale and we exhale with the chest open. We bow forward. If you have your blocks, this is a good time to bring them on either side. And slowly, slowly working your way towards the thigh with your chest. Good, and then inhale, come into vertical. Look forward. Exhale, belly to the spine, come all the way up. And this time you're just going to step the right leg forward and the left leg back. So the same thing, both of the heels are in line with each other, and you want to make sure the pelvis is rotated forward. That's why we have our fingers here, just to make sure that we are not pointing in a diagonal or even completely sideways. So facing forward with the pelvis, legs working strongly, like if they've been when we're working with the earth element. Big toes pressing down, heels pressing down. We inhale, sitting bones, they go back, chest goes forward. And we take a hold of our blocks. If you want, you can also have the blocks high up. So see what's more appropriate for you. And then we work in that deep urinary bladder stretch. Good, and then just bring your blocks out to the side. You can bend the knee now, bring both of the hands to the front of the mat and step back. Now step back into plank. Exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale, rise up. And exhale back to downward dog. Good, your full stretch of the back body. So if the earth is more in the legs and the front of the body, the water is more in the back and the back body. So just working with these two elements alone already would create a lot of balance. But we're going to keep adding the other elements. So we slowly move into the fire element here. So fire element, we're just going to hold plank pose. So when we move into the fire, we have the heart, the pericardium, the small intestine as the organs of the fire. And so the small intestine, where our digestive power is, right at the center of the body, it's really active with this plank pose, as you can feel it probably. Good, and then lower the knees, open the knees wide, and relax. Start to connect with that warmth that comes from the center of your belly, the center of your body. And then inhale and come all the way up. So we're going to do a different variation. Now still plank, but now let's do it on the elbows. And so this is a difficult one to count and do it at the same time. So you're going to do it at your own judgment. So let's see, I'm going to try to aim it for like 30 seconds. So you simply step back. You keep your body like parallel to the ground, and your elbows and your shoulders in line, and then you puff that area between the shoulder blades, but without lifting the pelvis up. The pelvis stays down. Close your eyes and just connect with the breath. When you exhale, squeeze the belly towards the spine. So the small intestine meridian, it's also getting a stretch there in the shoulder blade. And if you want, you can drop your knees down. This time, child's pose with the knees together. The belly rests on the thighs, and we're going to feel that warmth that comes again from the center of the body. Bring your arms back, drop your head down. So what is that sensation of heat in the center of the body? How does that feel to you? And with your breath, could you expand that wave of heat to also your limbs, to your arms and your legs? Just intentionally expanding the inhalation, the warmth, and exhaling, allowing it to return again back to that warm center. And then slowly you can start to unroll your spine all the way up. And come into sitting, and this time we're going to open a little bit the heart channel, and we're moving into a more yin part of the class now. So I'm going to ask you to lay on your left side, and you're going to bring the hip and the knee in the same line, and then you bring the other leg on top. This is a very simple pose. And you're going to use your arm here as a little pillow. If you need more elevation, you can use a block. But the pose is really done from the arms and the chest. So you're going to stretch your right arm all the way up, and then flex the palm. And then slowly you're going to keep the whole body facing this side, and the arm going back. So you flex the palm of your hand, and then you open your chest. Let the shoulder blades slide towards the spine as the chest is open, and we take some deep breaths in here. Let's create space in the lower back as well by bringing the rib cage in towards. So don't let your ribs flare out, just bring them internally. Deep breaths. Good. And then you're going to inhale, bring the arm all the way up, and exhale, lower the arm down. And we're going to have a rest, but once we completed the other side, so just Swing to the other side, and you're now laying down on your right. So remember that the hip and the knee stay in line, and we bring the leg on top. Resting on the deltoid here, we inhale, bringing the left arm all the way up. Flex the palm of the hand first, and then slowly drop it down. The rib cage goes in as well. So instead of flaring out, causing compression on your lower back, you want to bring the rib cage in. The arm goes back. So this is incredible stretch for the pericardium, which is not an organ, but is the tissue that protects the heart from any shock or trauma. Think about it as a bodyguard to the heart. So that meridian, it's also, just like the heart meridian, also runs through the arm and into the chest. And so this is a great stretch, a great release as well for the heart. Deep breaths. And then slowly bring your arm all the way up and lower all the way down. And now roll into your back and open your arms and just relax here. So let's feel that warmth. And now moving from the center of the core more into the chest, connecting with that sensation there. And then gently you can open your eyes. Still be aware of what's happening inside the body. And then you can bend your knees, roll into one side, and then coming all the way up. You're going to come now to the back of your mat. We're just going to do one more pose for opening the heart and chest area for these fire meridians and channels. So if you have your blocks, you can use them. If not, sometimes I use books as well if I don't have this around. So we're going to do a variation of Anahatasana. So you're going to come over here and just bring first your forearms to the block, and then walk the knees back so that the knees and the pelvis are in line. And then slowly you're going to move your chest down, bend the elbows, interlock the fingers, forehead comes on the ground. Then we slowly drop the chest down, hands together. We're just taking some deep breaths here. We're not going to stay very long, just to activate the chest. Last few breaths. And then slowly you're going to stretch the arms, activate your core, walk your knees forward a little bit, and then come all the way up. You can bring the blocks to the side now. And then come and sit on your heels. And let's feel that. So where are the sensations now? Have they moved towards the back of the heart as well? Good. And slowly release. Come into all fours with your fingertips. Step your left leg forward. We're moving into the air elements. Some little bit of randomness and change. And so let's pivot the feet. Now you're facing the long side of your mat. Legs wide. Keep the toes in line with each other. The heels, they go slightly out, toes slightly in. Pressing the whole inner leg, the inner legs and the inner feet working strongly. And then slowly here, we're going to bring the left hand under and we bring the right arm all the way up. Now move the chest up. Flex the palm of the hand again. We're starting here to open, so we're keeping opening the heart, but also the lung channel. So the air element governs the lungs and the large intestine. Lower the right hand down, and then right hand under the face and left arm all the way up. Flex the palm, rotate the chest. Good, and then slowly release. Hold the insides of your arms and just relax. So remember to keep holding the pose from the inner legs, the inner feet. Don't let the weight of your body drop all onto the outside of your feet. So keep the integrity. Remember the work you've done with the earth. And use the solidity of your legs. Good, and then release the arms. Fingertips, they come on the ground. And we're going to zigzag our feet towards each other until we can come into a place where we can squat. Now to squat, it all depends of your flexibility. If you need, you can use your blocks under your heels like this. So that makes it a little bit easier to squat. If you can squat easily, then soles of the feet there on the ground. And we're going to bring the hands in front of the heart, and then the arms are going to help us to open up the hip here. So when we start working with the air element, we want to make sure there's plenty of movement in the pelvis. So then there's also some intestinal release coming from the poses that we do. So squat is ideal for creating that kind of effect. Let's just hold it for just a few more breaths. See if you can keep uplifting your spine and your chest. And then slowly release the hands. You're going to, again, sitting bones up, zigzag the feet all the way out. And this time you're going to walk towards that left heel. Left leg, left foot. So you can do this from different variations. One here, my heel is off the floor and I'm balancing with the fingertips and in my toes. Or I can bring my heel down, which is stronger for the intestines. So this way of working with the yoga and the asanas, it looks at the anatomy and the biomechanics, but mostly looks at the energetics and which organs are we working. So here we're working very strongly large intestine organ. So not channel in this case, but the organ in itself, because it's so big and takes so much of our torso space. And so from here you can then walk with your hands towards the other side. Again, see if you're doing the variation where you're high up in your toes or if your heel is down. We just want this action here of the legs squeezing into the intestine. Deep breaths. So when working with the air element, it's important that we pay attention to exhalations. Complete exhalations, long exhalations, to help us expel everything that we don't need. So it creates a sense of release and a sense of lightness, qualities of this element. Good, and then slowly, slowly, use your hands, come into the center again, zigzag for a second squat. And this time, we're going to bring the hands forward and exhale, lower down. If you have a block, if you can come far down, you can just place your forehead on the block. If you need more height, you can use both. See what's useful for you. And we're just going to stay here for a full minute, and let's use the breath. So let's use the exhalation to release. If you need to open your mouth to exhale, do that. Sometimes we really feel that there's something trapped that needs to be released. So use the exhalation through the nose or through the mouth. Deep inhalations to stimulate the lung, and long exhalations, complete exhalations to release the intestine. Good, and then from there, you're slowly going to roll your spine all the way up. You can take your block, and this time bring the hands back, and you're going to sit and spread your legs wide. So we've done all the 4 elements. We are missing the last one, which is the space element, where everything gets integrated. And so we're going now to bring the left leg all the way in, and we open the right out to the side. I'm going to keep a block here because it's always comfortable to be able to relax into these poses. And so the first thing is to feel your sitting bones and that you're seated upright. If you feel that you're falling back, place something under the sitting bones. And then with that, we turn towards the left knee. And then inhale, bring the left arm all the way up. Create this space here between the rib and the hip. And then lower all the way into the right leg. So this right leg is just half engaged. We're coming towards the end of the practice. We want to cultivate more the yin aspect of the practice. And then you can have your block there for your arm, and you can even bend the elbow and with your hand support the head. So you can feel just the side body. So in the side body, we have here the gallbladder channel. And the space element comprehends both the liver and the gallbladder. So we're going to activate both with this last part of the class. If you notice, it's also the periphery of the body. So it's the space we need for everything to be integrated and felt. And then inhale, lift your left arm all the way up. Imagine someone is pulling you from that left arm all the way up, and then exhale, release with a sense of space here on the side body. So just take a moment, close your eyes, breathe into your rib cage. And then gently open the eyes and let's change to the other side. So we can open the left leg out to the side, the right leg comes in. Can put the little block on the inside there. Fingertips on the right knee. And then press the fingertips down, lift the chest up. Lift the right arm up as you inhale. And then as you exhale, fold towards that left leg. Use the block to place the elbow. And keep that left leg just 20% engaged, not the full lock with the feet and the thigh. And let's create space between the hip, the right hip, and the rib cage. And then also be aware of this left side here, so we don't want to allow that to collapse. And keep space in either side of the body, in that periphery of the body. Deep breath. And then slowly you're going to come up, lifting yourself up from that right side, and then exhale, lower down. You can bring the hands back now, take the block away. Stretch the other leg forward and just relax here for a moment. Relax and breathe into the rib cage. Imagining your rib cage is like a window that you open when you inhale and bring it together as you exhale. And then come back and open your eyes. We move towards the last couple of poses in the sequence. So we're going to do this wide leg forward bend. Again, check what is your range of flexibility. If you feel, again, either sitting bones elevated with the blanket, and also in this pose, it's not a bad idea to put something under your knees, so you can have a little rolled sock or something if you feel that you are overextending the knee joint by pressing the legs down, especially if you're sitting on that elevated blanket. And so you inhale here. We're going to do this in the most yin way possible. And we're not going to try to activate too much the muscles. We really just want to relax. So when we move into more the groin stretches, really opening the liver meridian that comes deep into the groin from the big toe as well. Same as the spleen. So you're going to move forward, making sure that you're bending and folding from the hip, and then exhaling and bringing the forehead to your block. Or you can also use a bolster here. If you have a bolster, you can put it in front. You know, maybe the pose today might be here for you and you're already feeling a strong activation of the groin. That means that the channel, the liver channel, is being open and stretched. So see where you're at with your body and move in respect to your body. Remember to stay connected with your deep breaths. Stay connected to your internal rhythm, your own unique natural rhythm on how you breathe and how you feel and perceive sensation in the body. Stay with that. Give your mind that focus. And whenever you're not there, either in your breath or in the sensations of your body, just realize and come back to it. The last minute in the pose. And then slowly, slowly open your eyes again. And you're going to start to engage your core first. So when you exhale, squeeze your belly to the spine. And then unroll your spine all the way up. Take your block away or your bolster. And you're going to lay down on the floor. Lay down on your back. And we're going to feel again the periphery now of the body. So all the side body, the inner legs, and see if we now can notice the more subtle of the sensations. As before, we are looking more towards the obvious sensation. Now let's look for the subtlety, which is what the space element is all about. It's the ether, is the spirit. It's the Anandamaya Kosha. The more subtle of the bodies that we have. So let's connect with that. And then just gently open your eyes again. Move your fingertips and toes. Let's bend the knees. And we're going to need your block just one more time for this last posture. So we're going to bring the the sacrum under it. So you use the block in the more flat version. And then from there you take the feet out and then stretch the legs all the way up. So your hands, can you see my hands here holding the block? Even though this is cork and it doesn't really slide, but just to make sure. And then we start dropping the legs here towards the chest, like in a supported plow pose. This is all we'll do for our finishing posture. And then slowly, slowly bring the legs back to vertical. Bend the knees. Place the feet on the ground. This time you're going to stretch one leg at a time. So you have a gentle back bend here going on. Just to counter that deep forward bend, heels on the ground. Deep breaths on the front body. Good, and then bend the knees again. Inhale, lift the pelvis all the way up. Take the block out. And then slowly, slowly, we're going to drop vertebra by vertebra all the way down. So sacrum is the last part to touch the ground. And then knees together, feet apart. We just rest here for a moment. Feel all the practice that you've done. Scan the body from your toes all the way up into the crown of the head. And then slowly separate the knees. Extend one leg at a time to the corners of your mat. Open the arms. Roll the shoulders down the back. If you need some blanket or some socks, anything to keep you warm, if you need that, just do that. And then we can move together into Shavasana. So slowly and gently, we're gonna start to wake up the body. So moving your fingertips and your toes, inviting a deeper breath into the body. And just start adding some gentle rolling of your wrists and your ankles. Then bring your legs together, arms over the head. Stretch the body as you take deep breath in. And then exhale to relax. And then bend your knees and roll into the right side. And you can bring your knees closer to the chest in this kind of cocoon pose. Just for a minute before we get up. So we stay here in this cocoon, our own cocoon of energy, regenerating, restoring. And then slowly, slowly, we can start to move towards a sitting position, where we're going to once again find that comfortable pose. And in that comfortable position, just lengthen your spine, open your chest, and then bring your left hand on top of the right, like making a little bowl with your hands. And with your eyes closed, then again connect to that internal rhythm of your breath. Maybe you can even listen to your own heartbeat. And then from there, bring the hands together in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. That same gesture we started the practice with, that reconciles all differences, and yet we still maintain our individuality. And then we slide the hands together, creating some warmth, some energy through that friction in the hands. And then we bring the left hand on the heart and the right hand just below the belly button. And we feel that warmth and that energy coming in these two centers of the body, the fire and the water. And although they are completely different in qualities, they support each other, they complement each other. There can be no fire without water, no water without fire. And then again, we bring the hands together in front of the heart. This time you can gently open your eyes, look at that gesture once again, and then slowly bow down all the way to the ground, where we bring that prayer to the earth and to the ground, that prayer to reconcile all differences between all species, so we can be in a place of cooperation, of growth, and of learning with each other, for our sake and for the sake of the earth. When you're ready, come back up. And thank you for practicing with me. And I hope you enjoyed this class about the 5 elements and about our differences and how our differences are actually what creates our strength.